Male rage. White male rage.
And my own personal connection to a lone wolf shooter when I was a kid.
What you just saw there was a clip from director Rob Lambert, actually writer-director Rob Lambert. I got the pleasure and opportunity to interview Rob and co-writer Joe Varkle, who wrote, directed, made the movie Cuck, which I've been talking about for some months now. Now, what we're breaking down in this clip is Rob talking about a man who he went to school with by the name of Wayne Lowe, and he was one of the first school shooters, and part of the inspiration of why he made this movie. And it's really interesting because if you watch the whole interview, which we're releasing on May 1st, 2020, you're gonna hear that there's a lot more depth to, one, this movie, but also the phenomenon of what is happening with men in this country. Believe it or not, the angle that's taken on this whole interview and what Rob says and what he alludes to here, it doesn't have to do with politics. It doesn't have to do with right wing, left wing. It doesn't have to do with feminism or oppression of men. Those could all be parts of it. What it has to do with is how we as men, we as humans, we as men and women have to deal with these certain problems that keep reoccurring in our culture of anger, of insanity, of all this sort of stuff. And the solution, at least the proposed solution, what I believe in, is probably a lot different than what people are taking. In any case, enjoy this clip of the interview. Man, it was awesome talking to both Rob and Joe. It was just super cool to talk about film and filmmaking and just referencing different stuff. Man, they have good taste, and they're a great filmmaking writing team. To find out more about us and join that discussion, go to the link tree down below. Check out Austin Men's Development. It's a free group where we talk, discuss, and workshop all this sort of stuff. All right, let's get to it.
So around that same time, while we were fishing for what that film was going to be, I got really into these, I guess you call them fight videos. It was around like 2016, before the election. I call them political fight rally videos that were like in Berkeley. You'd see like kind of like MAGA guys with red hats and like swords, and you'd see Antifa guys with black masks and bike locks, and you'd see them like bash it out on the streets or fighting on the beaches of Huntington Beach. And it just was like a phenomenon. And I got like really wrapped into watching these and figuring like, how are all these people like connecting and knowing how to meet up? And we started tracing back like some of the people that we had seen in these groups, and it all kind of linked back to the Chans, the 4chan, Reddit, 8chan, and a lot of these. And so the genesis for the idea of this kind of a frontline, I guess, internet soldier, if you want to call it that, sort of started from those early videos. And my own personal connection to a lone wolf shooter when I was a kid. And so it was sort of like, so when I was growing up, I actually went to school with Wayne Lowe, who was one of the first school shooters, probably 9 years before Columbine even. I moved to Billings, Montana, and would ride the bus with this high school kid named Wayne Lowe, Taiwanese American kid, and he got shipped off to boarding school. And while he was out there, he committed one of the first lone wolf shootings. So that whole event, and knowing this guy before he took that plunge off the deep end, it all sort of crystallized for me as a character and sort of a kind of a film idea, something I'd always been interested in and following. And this was he became infamous from that. And it's been interesting too, since the film came out. He had heard I was talking about him, and so he reached out to me from prison, and I've gotten to know Wayne Lowe pretty well actually at this point.
Did you know him before?
Yeah,
like, so personally?
Well, he was a bit older than me. We rode the bus every day, and I got to watch firsthand him taking some kind of bullying and seeing some of that happen firsthand. And I was just a younger kid, and I wasn't part of the bullying. I was maybe fifth grade or something, and he was maybe a ninth or 10th grader. But yeah, so all these years later, when we talk about it, he can isolate it down. Like today, you talk to him and you can't kind of meet or talk to a calmer, more reasonable person.